Welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley. Nope, it's not the new suit collection, but it's nice. And Emmanuel Acho over there. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, big dog. I like that one. It fits.
It fits. Oh, really? I like your ring, too.
Low barrier of entry for you, Sel. It fits.
Yes, it's coming, y'all. Well, let's get it started with a big NFL trade rumor with Tua. Is a Dolphin starter for now, but the Houston Chronicle reports Deshaun Watson could be traded to Miami this week, ahead of the November 2nd trade deadline. The report adds Miami and the Texans have been talking off and on for months, and the talks have intensified into serious negotiations. There's no word on what the compensation will be for the three-time Pro Bowler. So, Acho, is it too early for the Dolphins to give up on Tua?
The answer is a contingency answer.
Oh, don't do that. Get off the fence. Get off the fence.
Here's what it is.
I don't want to hear
Then
that.
the answer is no. But my no is contingent upon who are you giving up on him for.
Oh.
That's what it is, Sel. It's no. I'm going to start with this. We're going to start with story time. Marcellus Wiley.
Starting with story time? Yeah. Somebody didn't prep. Somebody ain't ready. He ain't ready for this war today, baby.
Story time.
Let's
Sel,
go. What?
I grew up with an affinity for Paula Patton. You remember Paula Patton?
I got a real story for you. She's from L.A., so you already know. I know.
Don't tell me.
And Paula,
I grew up with an affinity for Paula Patton.
Ooh, me too.
It was such an affinity that I always told myself this. I don't care who I end up married to.
Ooh.
If I ever got the chance to be with Paula Patton for a dinner, for a moment, I don't care. I'm going to be with Paula Patton. I don't care.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Okay.
That's how I feel about Tua and Deshaun. It's not that that Tua isn't worthy of being a starting quarterback, but if the Dolphins ever got a chance
PP out there
to get with Deshaun,
PP out there.
you got to.
I mean,
you got to. Again, like if I were married, it's not an indictment on my spouse.
Nah, she know.
But it's just kudos to Paula Patton.
That's how you gonna sell it?
That's how I'm selling
That's
it.
why you still single.
That's exactly right. So I look at it like this.
What's
it's
up?
not too early for the Dolphins to give up on Tua, but if and only if you're giving up on Tua for the likes of Deshaun Watson. Tua's only started 12 games thus far. He ain't even started a whole season, y'all. Give it some time as it pertains exclusively to Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay.
Tua has a 64% completion percentage.
There you
Tua
go.
has an 87 passer rating. Now, these are right below league average, but all that to say, Tua's an average quarterback.
Average?
Average quarterback, and he's still in his rookie season. That's average as it pertains to independently. As it pertains to team collective record, 7-5. I like Tua as a quarterback. But again, who am I giving up on Tua for if I'm giving up on Tua? Everybody got that celebrity crush. Now, I have to tell you,
Let's go.
once you become a celebrity, get rid of celebrity crushes.
Why is that?
You have way too much access. Okay?
How you know? You a celebrity now? Let me find out.
I would no longer.
What?
I would no longer step out on my spouse for Paula Patton. I would no longer. I've had to change my way of living. I've had to change my lifestyles. These DMs are way too accessible. But I know this much. The Dolphins should give up on Tua if and only if it's for the likes of Deshaun Watson. Outside of a Deshaun Watson, Tua's coming off one of the best games of his career individually. Tua is going to be a good football player if they would just give him some help. Not an indictment at all on Tua. I still believe in Tua. I just don't have to believe in Deshaun. I already know what Deshaun can do.
Ooh, okay. I love the take. You took me back. Boy, I got to tell you my Paula Patton.
Paula, bro?
What you mean?
What you know about
My name is not Marcellus Wiley. It's that dude. And it ain't nothing like you thinking right now.
You have the number.
No.
Okay, I'm just
Even
wondering.
better. All right, here we go. Let's holler. Let's talk about this right now, because this is silly. Like that Paula Patton story, that ain't silly. This is silly that they gonna give up on Tua, who they just drafted as a number 5 overall pick, a top 5 pick, a real top 5 pick. And you gonna give up on him for what? That shouldn't even be answered. You shouldn't give up on him. See, that's the thing. This is a person who will never be satisfied. You. A person who will never be happy at the red light. You. Because wherever you're in, you're going to look around and say, oh, man, I'm in this nice big old Rolls Royce. Oh, he's in one, too, but look at his rims. Next thing you know, you're never satisfied with what you got. Invest in what you have and be happy with what you have. They need to invest and they need to build around Tua, but they're not. We already know that these reports where there was smoke, there's fire, they were going to go after Deshaun Watson. Okay, it's way too damn early to give up on Tua. When I look at Tua versus other young good to great quarterbacks. And I noticed that Tua has a higher win percentage, notable quarterbacks drafted in 2020, than Jalen Hurts. Okay, that's cool. Higher win percentage than Joe Burrow. Okay. Higher win percentage than Justin Herbert. Now, that's win percentage. That's not saying he's a better player
of course not.
Than those guys. But that's saying somehow, some way, whatever Tua's out there doing is actually materializing to wins better than some other players that some that we're saying are better.
Yes, sir.
Why do I bring that up? Because Deshaun Watson, oh, brother, how you make it get down. I got two questions for you. Professor Overseer, I got pee in my crown. I got two questions for you, Deshaun Watson, one on the field and one off the field. How come you, the better performer, you, the three-time Pro Bowler, in your best season couldn't make that materialize into more wins? How come more of Deshaun meant less of the Houston Texans? That's one question I won't be satisfied with his answer. But Tua, somehow, some way, finds a way to win despite him being the lesser of the performers. Here's my second one. Off the field, with all the noise going on and the civil lawsuits and everything, the criminal investigation, et cetera, et cetera. I have one question for that. Deshaun, how did you get into that situation? Now, I don't think that on the field he could give me an answer that will suffice. And I think off the field, there's nothing he can say that is going to give me an answer that's going to suffice as well. For those two reasons right there, because I need to invest in somebody that somehow, some way turns it into winning more so than other quarterbacks that he supposedly is not better than, and for a guy who has not done anything to mar the name and reputation of this organization or himself. That said, Tua, you the guy that we gonna invest in.
So we don't prep for this show simultaneously. I'm not telling you, I'm telling the world.
No,
unlike some shows that just try to go make television, we actually do our own individual homework, and every now and then it beautifully comes together. Marcellus Wiley asked a question that wasn't rhetorical. More so, you made a statement that was rhetorical in regards to Deshaun Watson. Gonna question, how come Deshaun Watson's wins haven't materialized? Because I know you oh so well. I got an answer for you.
Where you going?
To the big board.
Oh, I should have known him.
I'm going. As soon as I put the chair back, you know.
Hey, whenever you look like Little Luther Vandross, I know you're going up to the big board.
Now look, Seth,
look at Little Luther.
I knew you was going to ask me this question. Well, Deshaun Watson, his career record is only, you know what it is, 28 and 27? But, hell, you got to start to think about the bigger picture.
What?
Deshaun Watson, he is always a winner. But when he got a head coach to get fired in the middle of the season, ain't nobody ever a winner. Just look historically. It's not about Deshaun Watson. It's about the history of the NFL. A coach can help a player get better. Next slide, please, so we can start talking about this story. Aaron Rodgers, we know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I ain't got to tell you. Nobody has to tell you. Your common sense will tell you. But when his head coach got fired, Mike McCarthy, middle of the season, Aaron Rodgers, he only won 6 games that year. On average, he wins 11 games out of every 16. But keep it moving. Let's talk about a guy who's not as great as Aaron Rodgers, but also had some success. Matt Ryan may be a Hall of Famer. He's been an NFL MVP. On average, he wins 9 games during the course of the season. But when his head coach gets fired during the course of that season, he only won 4 games last year. So can we talk about Deshaun Watson?
All you got?
Deshaun Watson, he typically wins 10 games when he got a coach from September all the way through January. But when his coach gets fired middle of the season, he's no different than Aaron Rodgers. He's no different than Matt Ryan, 2 people that have also won MVPs. He only wins 4 games. Matt Ryan only won 4 games when his coach got fired. Aaron Rodgers, the great, only won 6 when his coach got fired. So as I look at it, if I expunge last season because I just showed you why we should, Deshaun Watson's 24-13 as a starter. Career 65%, if you want to round that up win percentage. 6th highest among active quarterbacks over that span, minimum 25 starts. So don't talk to me about Deshaun Watson's struggles when his coach got fired. Surefire Hall of Famers struggle when their coaches get fired. Deshaun Watson is actually present day that dude.
Really? He don't know Paula Patton? He don't know Paula? Hey, wait a minute. You said Hall of Famers. You saying Matt Ryan gonna be a Hall of Famer? Ooh, you up there. Young. Check your grammar. Check your grammar. You Hall of Famer. And neither one of those scenarios, neither one of those situations did the player get better. Deshaun Watson, I would listen to you. I would go to the full screen with you. You know me. I'll go to the big board, Seth. I get a little hot up there. I start sweating. But the problem is, did Aaron Rodgers get better that season? Was that his best season? No. Matt Ryan? No. But Deshaun Watson was. That nullifies what you're saying.
No,
you know why?
don't do that.
Hold on. I thought coach has an impact.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, it made you better. And then if you got better, how come we didn't get better? Oh, I know if you flip we over, you're supposed to get a me. But I didn't see that.
That's a gang sign?
A little bit. Come on, man. You talking a lot of L.A. today. You better chill, dog. I'm going to get shot at. Here's the thing. If Deshaun Watson wants to use the coaching as an excuse, then all I'm going to say is, well, those 10-win season, that 11-win season, was that coaching? Oh, no, it wasn't. So then it was coaching when he got fired, and you were, like, relieved, so you played your best. Make it make sense if you're Deshaun Watson. Let's go.
I will.
Let's go.
It makes sense.
Let's go.
If you have a head coach who starts with you all offseason, training camp, mini camp, into the season, and then he gets fired halfway into the season, imagine what that does to you as an organization. We know the studies about people who got to go from one household to another, from children who have to go from their households to foster households. You know the studies when a supervisor changes within the environment for the person being supervised, it changes.
Yeah, and it changed for the better for Deshaun Watson.
No. Deshaun Watson just still balled in spite of his
He balled like
coach.
he never balled before. What do you mean just balled? Everything was better from Deshaun Watson that year. I digress. See, once again, Tua has to sit there and say, hey, hi, guys, you know me, the quiet guy, you guys are forgetting about me. This is a conversation about Tua, in part because of Deshaun Watson and the trade rumors, but it's really about the Dolphins giving up on Tua. Now, what are the Dolphins? Like, you ever get in a situation and you're begging for it to work out and you're begging, like, let's go back, 8th grade, I ain't even gonna say her name, Davita Adams, or anything like, you just begging for it to work out. But then when you look back, things didn't work out for good reason, right? And in this situation, if I'm Tua, I just, you know what? I ain't even gonna fight y'all. Y'all keep forgetting about me. Go ahead. I'm a top 5 pick and y'all already want to abandon me. Go ahead. I'm just going to go somewhere else like Ryan Tannehill did. And when Ryan Tannehill left Miami, I'm sure he was begging for it to work out and stay in Miami. But look how much better and how much greener the grass was once he left Miami. Win percentage went up. Points per game went up. Completion percentage goes up. Touchdown to interception ratio gets better. Passer rate, now I'm elite. The hell? So what is Miami? Like, we acting like Miami knows what's up when it comes to the quarterback position. It has been a carousel of them trying to audition and find the replacements for Don Shula and Dan Marino all the way back to when I played. And they have a list of guys all the way from a Tannehill to a Fiedler to a Henne, Pennington, Fitzpatrick, Moore, Farrat, Cutler, Harrington. And they haven't figured it out. So this is what my biggest issue is. It's not a shot at Deshaun Watson. It's everywhere you go, Miami Dolphins, there you are.
Yes, sir.
Your evaluation of the quarterback position, to me, is so fraudulent, so bad, that it's okay if you let Tua go. Because I think that will be good for Tua. But it's not going to be good for you guys because you guys have made a mess of this position, which just so happens to be the most important position in football.
You said some great things, but you led me to a great place. You're exactly right. If you're the Dolphins, how you know what you know? You don't know nothing, in theory, if you're the Dolphins.
Man.
Now, again, I blame all of Ryan Tannehill's career on Adam Gase. Same thing with Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake was struggling when there was Adam Gase. So many players have struggled under Adam Gase. I don't put Tannehill on the Dolphins as much as I put it on Adam Gase. However, if we're going to say that the Dolphins know nothing about identifying quarterback play, and if you're a Dolphins fan, in theory, you kind of have to agree with that, the quarterback position hasn't been stable in 2 decades, then you can say this. Deshaun Watson's a great stabilizer.
Let's hear.
In Houston, remember, there was a Schaub, there was a Fitzpatrick, there was a Hoyer, there was an Osweiler. But then there was a Deshaun Watson. You talk to me all about those quarterbacks in Houston who somehow, if you piece and part them together, they found a way to win. But then Deshaun Watson came in and he stabilized that quarterback position.
He didn't do nothing that they didn't do. Go.
Just a 10-win season. None of the quarterbacks did that. Just an 11-win season. None of the quarterbacks did that. Now, if you want to go cumulative, which I know you will do.
You mean add it up? My bad.
Cumulatively,
yeah, get the
sure,
word.
the quarterbacks did, in fact, win, 28 and 27?
They won in the same exact amount of games as Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson will be better than them. Where they do that at?
Here's where. I know you too well. I know you too well. I already was prepared to block that.
He know me well. Let's go.
During the course of those 6 or 7 quarterbacks, the Osweilers, the Fitzpatricks, the Hoyers, all those quarterbacks that preceded Deshaun Watson, the most wins any one of those quarterbacks had was Brock Osweiler with 8.
Yeah.
And the Texans said, Osweiler, you're so bad that we're going to give you away plus a 2nd-round pick and a 6th-round pick and only get a 4th-round pick in return. You're so bad, Brock Osweiler, even though you were the greatest of the quarterbacks before Deshaun Watson after Schaub. You're so bad, we gonna give you away for free. So, Sel, I hear you trying to piece together a little bit of Osweiler and a little bit of Hoyer and a little bit of Fitzpatrick.
Crumb caking.
But Deshaun Watson is the great stabilizer. He was in Houston, and he can be for the Dolphins.
Man, stop. I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it because I am the walking mirror. If you don't want to look at reality, certainly don't look at me because I'm going to show you reality. Damn it. Deshaun Watson was there for 4 years, right? Same exact amount of wins and losses as those quarterbacks you mentioned. Once again, just for emphasis, let's say those names again. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Case Keenum, Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer, TJ Yates, Brandon Wheaton, Brock Osweiler, and Tom 21. Savage. God dog. Same amount of wins and losses. But you want to say, oh, well, Deshaun hit higher heights. It's all about what did it add up to. 2 playoff appearances in 4 seasons, right? Deshaun, 2 playoff appearances in 4 seasons. They won 1 playoff game. You won 1 playoff game. Where's that Spider-Man meme production? Anybody? Point at each other.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Where are they then?
Where's Deshaun right now? Huh?
$160 million quarterback.
We ain't gonna
begging to trade for him. That's where he is.
No.
We don't get there, though.
Hey, we gonna get there. And you know in the locker room, once you bring up money, you know you lost the argument. You just lost that
Not
argument.
when you got 160.
You ain't lying. That's too much money. Coming up, it's that time again. It's time to reveal that dudes. Find out who made the list later on. But first, boy, you ain't never lied. There's exemptions. 160 million, bring it up. Is Dak Prescott really the best quarterback so far this season? We'll tell you if we have a problem with that next. Don't speak for yourself. Eat.
Number Paula Patton, though.
Oh, man, I ain't.
The Cowboys are rolling right now on a 5-game win streak, and quarterback Dak Prescott, obviously a huge reason why. Dak's in the top 5 in touchdown passes, passing yards, and NFL.com ranked him as the, not a top quarterback. They ranked him as the top quarterback so far this season, saying, quote, if I need one quarterback to make one play in any situation right now, the quarterback is Dakota Rain Prescott.
Damn.
Take a look at the top 5. Dak beat out the GOAT, Tom Brady, and Kyler Murray of the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. I have a problem with asking this question, but Marcellus...
You got a problem with that prompter, too.
You have I did. That prompter went to work on your boy.
Yeah. You threw up West Side. That prompter said, what up?
That prompter went to work on your boy. Do you have a problem with Dak being ranked the number 1 quarterback heading into Week 7?
No, not at all. But because this is a question, maybe one of us at this desk does have a problem with it. We will see. Tier 1, as we talked about before, is hella long this year. This is not last year's Tier 1. That was only 2 or 3 names in terms of elite quarterback play. This year, you saw the faces. What we see, 7 faces up there right now. Tier 1 is hella long. But you said this in the read, if you guys at home caught that, you know.
They probably didn't. They didn't catch much during that read. Yeah, I ain't catch it.
Hey, bro.
God, dog.
No, we are human beings. Imperfection is written in our names.
Read and write, though. That's an SAT prep.
I love you, too. Dak is the only quarterback, I'm going to say it clean, to rank top 5. Only quarterback. Only quarterback. Top 5. Passer rating, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, and passing yards per game. What does that tell me, Acho, to just end this right here, right now? That if I'm the only one, I am the one. And that's Dak Prescott. There's no argument you can make that would take Dak Prescott out of this position. Only argument I will hear, only argument I will respect is if you try to insert or put somebody else up there with Dak Prescott. But I dare you to try and take Dak Prescott and his name and image and likeness and his production and resume and drop it to his NIL. Nil, you can't touch it. So for all of that said, Dak Prescott is playing ball at the top level. Whether you have a different flavor that you like, a different way of production, I'm listening to it, but you cannot take Dak off that position.
I'll start with this. I have a huge problem with Dak being ranked the number 1 quarterback, but y'all have to listen to the why.
Okay.
I have a huge problem with it because people are just doing it to pander to the Cowboys audience.
Really?
I got to put Cowboys fans on game. So I was listening to a controversial speaker right before the political season, before voting. And this controversial speaker brought it to the attention like, look, every 4 years, this certain party just tells you what you want to hear just to play to your emotional state.
I know where we
Do
going.
y'all not wake up and see? The Cowboys have become politicized. If you want to get views, praise the Cowboys. That's views on television, views on Twitter. If I want to have my most viewed tweet today, I just come up and say, Dak Prescott is the greatest Cowboys quarterback that I have ever seen, and CeeDee Lamb is the greatest Cowboys receiver, and the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. 100,000 views. The problem is, what you want to hear ain't always what you need to hear.
Okay.
So I have a problem with Dak being ranked number one, because in my mind, the only reason you would rank the Cowboys number one is to play to the vulnerable and rightfully vulnerable and the rightfully emotional state of the Cowboys. Cowboys haven't seen greatness like this since the early 90s. Yeah, they were 13-3 in 2016, but I covered the Cowboys in 2016, working in the star in one Frisco way, and it didn't feel like this. So I have a problem because of the motivation behind why ranking Dak number one.
Okay, you gave me the motivation. Sitting here at Fox Studios, back lot, you know how everything looks on the front. You'd be like, wow, look at that. That looks like New York City. And then you just see a piece of wood holding it up and it's paper thin. That's how I felt with your take right there. It looked amazing. Wow, Acho said, man, I know the motivation of these people. Who? What name? Kyler Murray? Tom Brady? Lamar Jackson? Who's playing better than Dak Prescott?
That's easy.
Take me behind the scenes.
Let's go behind
and
the
give me
scenes.
something, not just
Here's
a piece
what I
of
will
wood.
give you. If you are not, I want to see me. I want to see these numbers, and I definitely don't want to see Marcellus.
Wow.
If you are not first in something, I can't make you first in everything.
Really?
Period.
You sure?
Here's why.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Starting track and field. Usain Bolt is not the best starter, but I'll tell you this much.
What?
He the best finisher, so he can be the best. But I'm not going to have somebody who ain't the best starter, ain't the best finisher, and be like, oh, but they're the best sprinter.
Oh, my God.
Michael Jordan.
You ready?
At least he was the best scorer. And he also was the best defender.
Oh.
Hence why he was the best.
Oh.
2020, LeBron James. Many said he should win the MVP. He led the league in assists. He was the best. As I look at it, Dak Prescott, yes, I'll give you this. Top five in those major four statistical categories. I do not think that they are all as major as you would like to say, but he's top five in major statistical
Don't do that to
categories.
me.
But I'm not going to say he's the best. Frank Gore. He ain't the best running back of all time. And Frank Gore was never the best running back while he was playing. But boy, if you look statistically, Frank Gore is top five in just about every major running back statistical category.
You're spazzing.
I'm spazzing with truth. Not even truth, with truth.
With truth, with
two
F's.
With two F's.
You are.
So when I look at it,
You're leaking oil.
Dak ain't top in passing touchdowns.
Oh, he's not top.
He's not number one in passing touchdowns.
Okay.
He's not number one in passer rating.
Okay.
Not number one in completion percentage. Not number one in passing yards.
Yeah.
So how are you going to take an aggregation of somebody who has no number ones
Coach.
and make him?
Coach, can I get a rep? Can I get a rep? Can I get some of the ribs? Let me get some of the ribs. Boy, you know you in trouble right now. I ain't normal, dog. I'm different up here. You just said he ain't top in any major statistical category, so he can't be the one, okay? I will now rebut that and say, Dak's not number one in any major statistical category, but he's also not the worst of the elite quarterbacks. So guess what? It neutralizes itself. You want to say Kyler Murray? Which guy? Which guy? You ready? Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, completion percentage, number one. No, I'm going to do it because you know you caught. Number one. But, damn, completion percentage compared to Dak, worse. Oh, so you trying to give me arguments that say, since you're not number one, then you can't be in it. I'm saying you can't be the last one either in these situations and then be the same guy. Tom Brady. Tom Brady is in the teens in a lot of these categories, so we're going to disqualify him.
What categories, sir?
You ready?
Gonna say a lot
completion percentage, 11th.
Is that a team? Is that a team, Mr. Columbia?
Oh, that's not, huh? That's 11. Oh, 11,
I don't hear a team
12,
behind
13,
that.
13. Oh, here we go.
I don't hear a team
Here we go.
behind that. 11 team.
11 team. What's that called? Double digits. Double digits. That's what I just said. Double digits. That's what. Oh, you want some teams? I got some teams. Lamar Jackson. Look at your face. See, he was on there too. You want some teams? I got some more teams for you. It ain't Dak. Top five, all categories, only one. And he's not number one in any. So this is almost like a jack of all. That's
Sure.
what he is.
Sure, I get
and he's not
that.
a king of one, but guess what? He's also not the worst in any one. That will be Tom Brady with them teams, real teams. Kyler Murray with double digits. And then you see Lamar Jackson, teens and double digits. So the point is, Dak says, look, I'm not soaring at the highest of heights, but no one is soaring consistently excellent more than me. He is top 5 in all the categories where no one else is in that same conversation.
Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback, period. But he is not number 1.
Who is?
We don't have a bigger conversation.
Don't say Frank Gore again or you say
we don't have a bigger
Who is number 1?
To me, I would go, I'm going Lamar Jackson.
You're going Lamar Jackson?
Here's why.
14th, 12th, 10th,
Here
16th.
is why.
And that's my guy.
I'm going Lamar Jackson because he has had to do the most with the least.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson has the Ravens 5-1. 16 players on IR. Starting left tackle IR. Starting left guard was not there. First round receiver played his first game last week. But I don't even care about that. What I'm going to say is this. We know Dak Prescott has the greatest talent around him. So it's not like Dak Prescott's working at a deficit. Dak Prescott, Tom Brady got the greatest talent around them, in my opinion. Receivers, tight ends, running backs, etc.
Facts.
But Tom Brady is still second in passing touchdowns, greater than Dak.
That is.
First in passing yards, greater than Dak.
Oh, you're doing this?
No. I'm just saying Tom Brady at least has some firsts. Marcellus Wiley.
He got one first. Yards per game. He got one first.
But he also was like this.
What? One first.
When I'm thinking about the greatest of all, who's the greatest entertainer of all time music?
Jamie Foxx.
Music.
I just saw him last night. I just saw him last night. He's the greatest, most talented human being that ever existed.
Jamie Foxx is the most talented. I'm agreeing with you. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. But most entertaining, I think Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, for sure.
Great.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson is the most entertaining, but he's best dancer. You look at Michael Jackson, and he might not be the best singer in the world.
He ain't the best dancer. Chris Brown will do a flip on him.
He might not. But,
rest in peace.
But Michael Jackson was that dude.
He was then, yes.
When you talk, at least give me the best at something.
Why?
Please give me the best at something.
Why?
That's just not the best at anything. He's top 5. Y'all better not tweet at me. Don't text me.
It's coming. Go get him, Cowboys.
He's top 5. But you want to make him number 1. Come on, Sal.
Look, I'm going to give you some marital advice. And obviously you need it because you're still on the other side of the ocean, trying to swim your way to shore to find who is yours.
I'm listening.
Get out this mindset that somebody has to be the best at something. Just get someone who's consistently excellent, and I think you will be better served. If you look at this in totality, none of these guys should be slighted. But when you want to put someone higher than Dak Prescott, that's when I say you shouldn't put him higher just because he does one thing better than Dak, because there are going to be other things you're not noticing that he's doing worse than Dak. So one thing I heard Colin Cowherd say that I really respect is when you're trying to do a summation of someone, take out the best and take out the worst.
That's fair.
And then just see what the median, where they really are, right? That median. Dak Prescott, if you do that, it's not even a conversation. But when you want to say, well, there's one thing that he can't do better than someone else, I'm going to now combat that with so many things that he does as well, if not better than them. That's the conversation.
That's cute and all, but what I would retort to you and retort to Colin is, why would I take out what somebody does best? That completely changes who they are. Sure, but then who are you left with?
You're left with Dak Prescott being better than all these guys.
Because if you want to talk a multitude of sports, and if an argument is a good argument, it should be able to transcend the topic that you were discussing.
Yes.
If you want to go to your favorite sport of track and field, Usain Bolt, he's the greatest finisher. He's the worst starter. If you take out Usain Bolt's clothes and you take out Usain Bolt's start, what you left with? UB. You ain't even left with no Usain and you ain't left with no Bolt. So you can't take out the best and the worst. Let me look at the entirety of an individual.
Don't you ever butcher what Colin said and I said again. We're saying his best performance ever and his worst performance ever. Then what you left with? A meat of like, damn, he still was running under sub 10, right? I'm saying with Dak Prescott in this situation, why am I still arguing with you?
Here's why.
He's the only one that is top 5 in all categories. Why are we still talking? We got to fill up time or something?
I'm about to get you.
Boy, my tie bar fresh. What's up?
Who is the greater sprinter?
Me.
Usain Bolt or Asafa Powell?
I already know the answer to this.
No, who's the greater?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do this.
Who's the greater sprinter?
Who's the greater sprinter?
Yes. Who's the better?
Usain Bolt.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
But Asafa Powell's more consistent.
Yeah.
Asafa Powell got more sub 10 100-meter times.
Yeah. 999.
I would never And my cognitive function
Where's his
fits
9'6"?
my lips
Where's his
to
9'6"?
argue that Asafa Powell is greater than Usain Bolt. Because Asafa Powell ain't number one.
Where's his 9'6"?
In nothing. Asafa Powell is more consistent than Usain, but Asafa Powell ain't got the number one time in the 100. He ain't got the number one time in the 200.
Okay.
He ain't got the number one time in anything. So don't come to me with no lackluster argument about, well, Asafa Powell actually has more sub 1,000 meters than Usain. That's what you're doing right now with this Dak Prescott argument.
Nope.
Look on your little laptop.
First of all, my laptop bigger than yours, so it ain't little. I gotta get out of here right now.
Right.
That's a strong argument, but it's wrong.
Your Wi-Fi down. He ain't got no argument without his Wi-Fi.
I got a personal hotspot, though. I got a personal hotspot, and it's getting hot up here. Coming up, there's a lot of attention on the potential Deshaun Watson trade. Oh, we really about to go to war. But we'll tell you if he's actually overrated. That's next. Don't speak for yourself. Oh, man, I'm about to get these 100 times on your head. Tomorrow, the ALCS heads back to Houston, where the Astros are one win away from punching their ticket to the World Series. Coverage begins tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Deshaun Watson might not be a Houston Texan much longer. Reports say he could be traded to Miami before the November 2nd deadline. Watson has not played a snap this season, but last year he had career highs in passing yards and touchdown passes. But the Texans were also just 4-12. Cho, is Deshaun Watson overrated? Let me say it again. Overrated. Deshaun Watson?
No. Let me remind everyone who Deshaun Watson is. Deshaun Watson enters the league with Bill O'Brien as his head coach. Now, Bill O'Brien is such a bad coach. Not only, obviously, did he get fired in the middle of the season, but Bill O'Brien caused Alabama to lose to Texas A&M. Let college football expert Joel Klatt tell you the reason Alabama lost is because their offensive coordinator did not have a competent game plan in the red zone, and Alabama, the best team in college football, goes down. So Deshaun Watson enters the league with that man, Bill O'Brien, as his head coach. Bill O'Brien's such a bad head coach that he drafts Deshaun Watson in the first round, doesn't start Deshaun Watson. Instead, he starts Tom Savage. Tom Savage was so bad that Deshaun Watson takes over at halftime. Deshaun Watson then proceeds to go through a 6.5 game stretch where he is the best quarterback in football, 19 touchdowns through 6.5 games. He is at the front of the MVP race. Deshaun Watson gets hurt. Deshaun Watson comes back the next year, overcoming that ACL injury, leads this team to the playoffs. Deshaun Watson, however, he doesn't win that playoff game. They get knocked out to the Colts. Comes back the next year, another double-digit win season, leads his team to the playoffs. They win that playoff game. They're up 24-0 against Patrick Mahomes, and that's when Deshaun Watson falls. Deshaun Watson is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. So good he can overcome his coaching if you at least give him one coach over the duration of the year. He can't overcome two coaches. I apologize on behalf of Deshaun Watson for that one. But Deshaun Watson is not at all overrated. He's a top 5 quarterback, and that might be underrating him.
Sounds like you know Deshaun Watson well. And I respect that. That means you did your homework. But I did mine too. Damn it. And this is going to hurt me to say this, but Deshaun Watson is overrated. Now, it doesn't hurt as bad as I'm going to make it sound like it, because guess what? I'm just doing my job. But it does twist my logic up in thinking, how come someone who is so elite in terms of potential and performance doesn't get the elite results? I'm dumbfounded, being real. Like, you know, Rubik's Cube. Did you ever master Rubik's Cube?
No, I didn't master.
Nav, have you ever made one like all the colors on the same?
Once.
You did?
Once.
You better than me, bro. I used to take the stickers off and try to do, hey, homie, this is real. It never worked out. This is a Rubik's Cube to me. Deshaun, there was a moment, top 5, easily, shut up. Maybe top 3, right, in terms of what he was doing. But then you add it all up, it just didn't make sense. Old school, scientific calculator, Texas Instruments. Let's go back. When you
83 or 83 plus. Where you at?
I ain't had no plus money. Food stamps, homie. But the point is, you hit those buttons and you felt good. Big blue buttons. And then you hit the ultimate button, equals. And that's what I got a problem with Deshaun Watson. All of that, what you said, amazing, amazing, amazing. What does it equal up to? Here's the problem. Let's be real. 29-35, Houston Texans, 4 years before Deshaun Watson. That's why they got Deshaun Watson, right? They were that bad to themselves. 29-35 since getting Deshaun Watson. 2 playoff appearances, 4 years before Deshaun Watson. 2 playoff appearances with Deshaun Watson. 1 playoff win with Deshaun Watson. 1 playoff win without Deshaun Watson. Okay. Let's go here. Career winning percentages. Deshaun Watson, 518. Is it 518? Is that like elite? No, but he's elite. Oh, okay, whatever. Team issues. There are quarterbacks with higher win percentages. You want me to read a couple?
Of course.
Rex Grossman. Our own Mark Sanchez, but he's here now. We get that. Brian Greasy. Let me stop. Trevor Simeon. Anybody? Yeah, him. You got my point. Let's talk about points per game since Deshaun's so elite. He gonna get in the end zone, right? Better than Deshaun Watson in terms of points per game. Tavares Jackson, anyone? Kevin Cobb, anyone? Billy Volek, anybody? Okay, forget that. Deshaun, on his teams, like Deshaun lighting it up. And so look at him. He's an elite quarterback and passer. So the offense should be never top 10. 17th, 11th, 14th, 18th. Where do you hit the equal sign and it turns into, give me that paper back, when it turns into more than just an elite player? I need elite performances that translate to the masses, to the team at whole. That's my problem for Deshaun Watson in terms of his resume. I know he's great, but when we play the ultimate team sport, that me has to translate to we.
Every great quarterback during the course of their greatness, don't you get in front of my screen. Don't you get in front of my screen.
Hey, hold on.
Get in front of my screen.
I am out of shape. I can't reach it. Hey, workers' comp. My hip.
Every great quarterback during the course of their greatness has a great receiver. Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams.
You ain't lying.
Tom Brady, he has Godwin, Gronk, Evans, UAB.
Keep going.
Russell Wilson, even what Doug Baldwin was doing. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. Matthew Stafford, who he has now. First off, he had Calvin Johnson, but beyond that, who he has right now, Cooper Kupp. I mean, every great quarterback got great receivers.
What you
Deshaun's one down collective team year. Who he have? Now, don't tell me Acho is just one receiver. Think about what one receiver Stephon Diggs did for Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs made Josh Allen go from average to MVP runner-up. So give somebody an elite receiver and you see what they can do. It's not that you hitting the equal sign, Sel. You looking at them two lines and you just hitting one. You hitting a subtraction, big dog.
Oh, you going here?
You're not hitting equal. You hitting subtract DeAndre Hopkins. Equals. Now that wasn't the equals. Subtract another head coach. You're not hitting equal signs. You're hitting subtraction signs. And now you're trying to wonder why your additive value is actually subtracting. It's because you're not hitting an equal summation. You hitting minus, but somehow Deshaun Watson is still in the positives.
Man, that was a beautiful comeback. You didn't catch me, but you swung, and I didn't think you had any life left. So now I got to cut you. Let's talk about this. Did Deshaun Watson sign up for that year without that tremendous receiver in DeAndre Hopkins? Yes, he did. Did Deshaun Watson actually sign a lucrative contract after knowing that his top receiver was gone? Yes, he did. So don't act like, oh, my God, he walked outside and it starts thunderstorming on him and he didn't have his umbrella. He already knew the weather. Matter of fact, he was the weatherman. Told us what was going to happen. Oh, why? Put it on my shoulders. Watch what happened. And you know what's crazy? Some people at home, I can hear them right now. They go into the Twitter keyboard right now. Dummy, he didn't have a receiver. Dummy, guess what? No one wins without a receiver. Acho just said that. At Acho, right? And then I'm going, they're going to do that to get some credit, get some love from you. And I'm going to say this. Okay, y'all ready? Deshaun Watson went 4-12 that year, right? There have been 24 players who played as well as Deshaun Watson in terms of passer rating last year. 110-plus passer rating with at least 200 attempts. I don't want everybody. I don't want somebody just playing for a half or something. That really played. 110 passer rating, right? You ready for this? The other 23 all had winning records, combined for 781 win percentage. All 23. But then there's Deshaun Watson. You say I ain't hit the equal sign. You're right. I hit the subtraction sign. 24 minus 1. Why you the one? Why the other 23? And the other 23, let's be real, they not Deshaun Watson, supposedly. So my thing is, Deshaun Watson keeps finding himself in this one category by himself that doesn't add up, that doesn't equal out to team success. In a game where the most important position has to have the most impact, Where is his impact?
So, I actually think you and Deshaun have more in common than you think.
We do?
I would say. So, you were engaged how many times?
1, 2, 3, into the 4.
You were engaged 3, 4 times. Now, over the course of your engagements, I know this much.
What?
The first 3 ended because there were probably some issues that either you had or they had.
Well, who else gonna end our relationship?
Of course.
That's right.
But still, they accepted the ring and you got on a knee, likely because you were hoping they would change. So you can commit to somebody or something like Deshaun Watson did with the Texans, hoping they would change. You've done it in your life, and you know people that have done it in theirs. So I'm not going to fault Deshaun Watson for committing to a problem. Clearly, we've seen more brilliant minds do the same thing several times. But you do it in hopes that who you're committing to will change. And if they don't change, you give them the ring back. And Deshaun Watson is like, you know what? Y'all go ahead, have this back. Sidebar. Primary focus, so is this. I can tell you why Deshaun Watson collectively struggled as a team. The only time he's collectively struggled as a team was when his coach left in the middle of the season. Aaron Rodgers, the one time he collectively struggled, they went 6-9-1 when his coach Mike McCarthy got fired with 4 games left. Matt Ryan, he's an MVP caliber player who has gone to a Super Bowl. But when his coach got fired midseason, he went 4-12, and on average, Matt Ryan wins 9 games. On average, Deshaun Watson wins 10 games. His coach gets fired, he wins 4 games. He's no different than Aaron Rodgers. He's no different than Matt Ryan. Deshaun Watson, too, is elite.
Man, here you go, pulling at my heartstrings. And I guess I got 2 strings. One of them is MJ's, right? If you pull at MJ, you're going to win the argument. I don't give a damn what you say. And the other one is when you start talking about my engagements, because you know I wasn't all that. You knew I brought a lot of issues to the table because you work with me every day. You can understand. And imagine 20 years ago, good Lord, I was a mess. And that's the problem. Deshaun is not going to get out because of your last little layer right there. Change? Deshaun committed to what? Improvement. They had won 10 games. They had won 11 games. Like, Deshaun was looking at this like, I don't need to change anything. I need to add to it. And once again, that's on the calculator as well. But Deshaun doesn't add to this. He actually subtracts from this, like you said before. And the same reason why I know Deshaun Watson is overrated, because it doesn't add up, is the same reason why I got engaged so many times. It looked really good on the surface. You're like, damn, that's Wiley. Oh, he a great dude. He went to Ivy. He's gonna look good on it. I wasn't all that, dog. It was a projection. It was a perception that I rode. But when it all came down to it, they knew. And then we knew. Coming up, Jared Goff has a big reunion on Sunday. Boy, I'm about to curse against the Rams. You're pulling at my heart. We'll tell you if he's one of the players that needs to show us something this weekend. That's next on Speak for Yourself. And that's why I let him keep the ring. Welcome back. Just hours away from Week 7 kicking off in Cleveland as the Browns host the Broncos on Fox. But before that, let's take a look at some of the biggest storylines around the league in our Week 7 watch. All right, there are a lot of great matchups to look forward to. But Acho, which one is the most intriguing?
The most intriguing matchup to me has got to be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's fun.
Why the intrigue is because the Ravens are sitting at 5-1, only AFC team that's at 5-1. However, the Bengals are at 4-2. Bengals win this matchup, they're winning the AFC North. Remember, the Bengals ain't been above the AFC North Week 7 of 2015. That's the last time the Bengals were number 1 in the AFC North through 7 weeks of play. So, to me, this is super intriguing because how good are the Bengals? We're going to find out, y'all.
I only got one matchup that's even on that level. I don't know if it's more intriguing, but it's the most intriguing to me. Got to talk about Kansas City versus Tennessee. Let's talk about Kansas City's defense. Last 4 or 5 games, they've given up over 30 points. Let's look at the Tennessee offense and King Henry, 34 or more points the last couple games. So you're going to see a matchup of strength versus weakness. I want to see how that plays out. Let's talk quarterbacks. We have Jared Goff's return to L.A., plus an AFC North showdown between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Bacho, who's your quarterback to watch heading into Week 7?
Only one safe answer to me.
Safe?
It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Why?
So when I was trying to make NFL teams every year after every year, my coach would always tell me this: Acho, don't worry about making the team. Worry about making a team. Tua's not playing for the starting job. He's playing for a starting job. Tua, you 4-5 in your last 9 starts. You haven't thrown for multiple touchdown passes in a game since week 10 of last season. So, Tua, you're not playing to be the Dolphins starter. That might already be gone. That ship may have already sailed. Management may already think, you know what, we want Deshaun Watson, we're going to get him.
Oh, that's right.
Tua, you're playing to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. I'm watching you.
I like that. Case Keenum, though, comes to mind for me. Woo! So much money on the line. Not only for you, Case Keenum, but for you, Baker Mayfield, sitting there on the sidelines as well. Oh, Case Keenum, last time you were out there playing and you had Kevin Stefanski, who was your offensive coordinator, who's now your head coach. Oh, you were 11-3 that season. You had 7 games with 100 or more passer rating. So this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm talking about 9 lives. Like, this is his 9th life. Another opportunity for Case Keenum to go out there and make some
Question for you, Sal.
What you got?
If Case Keenum balls out, does Baker Mayfield get his job back?
Absolutely not. Not at all. Look, Baker Mayfield, you are a good to great quarterback. The problem is you're not consistent. The problem is we don't run our offense through you. If Case Keenum can show that he can hand the ball off as well as Baker Mayfield, but also be prolific in the passing game, why would you return to Baker Mayfield?
I feel you.
That's right. And finally, let's talk players with something to prove. Acho, who's your show me something player for week 7, man?
I have to go deep into the grapevine for this one. It's Jamal Adams.
Wow.
Safety for the Seahawks. Because Jamal Adams got the most hype this past weekend when he said, I'm the best in the nation. Now, that was obviously a tribute. Now, Jamal Adams, we all know you're a superstar. But right now, the Seahawks desperately need you to show up. You're the highest paid player on that roster with Russell Wilson going out. So if the Seahawks are going to do anything, primetime game this upcoming week, Monday night against the Saints, it has to be because of Jamal Adams. Russell Wilson is no longer ready nor available. Jamal Adams, it is all on you. You got to show me something because I'm tired of hearing fans talk crazy about Jamal Adams, overrated this, linebacker that. He's still a dude. You need to show he's a dude.
I'm going with Jared Goff. I think this is better. You too smart.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a great one. What do you mean a good one? You too smart for your own damn good. Talking about I'm in the weeds looking for this one. Where is he? It's right before your face. Look at this. Jared Goff, you have not won a football game in the NFL without Sean McVay. The hell is that? Now you get to play Sean McVay. Now you get to play your former team that didn't even want you. And now it looks like you're playing with a head coach that is looking at you sideways and not me like him. Dan Campbell, my former teammate. One day he's crying, the next day he's crying about Jared Goff. Jared Goff can't find a home, so Jared Goff, you got to show me something.
This was tough, man. I pity Jared Goff.
Oh, don't do that.
Here's why. You're 0-7 your rookie year without Sean McVay.
Jeff Fisher.
Sean McVay comes into town. You go to the Super Bowl, Jared Goff, you're a dude. Then Sean McVay looks at you and says, I'm better off without you. Sean McVay brings in Matthew Stafford. He's 5-1 with Stafford. You go to Detroit, and you sitting at, what is he, 0-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? It's like, Jared Goff, you're about to prove Sean McVay very, very right. I hope Goff balls. I hope his team balls around him. If they win this game, that would cover a multitude of Jared Goff's hair.
Oh, man, don't feel sorry for him because he still has an opportunity in front of him. He can do something that your boy did. When you play your former team, this is how you come out. First of all, we had a pregame fight. What's up, boy? I'm with the San Diego Chargers. They over there, Buffalo Bills. Wop, wop, wop. First play for scrimmage, Wiley, sack. Second play for scrimmage, Wiley, sack. Third play for scrimmage, tackle for loss, go off the field and hit him with that. That's what you need to do, Jared Goff.
Can you do that on air?
I just did it. Get your name back. You can do it on the field. I'm sorry. Flashback. That would do it for our Week 7 watch. Be sure to watch. Let's see this. Can you do this on air?
Let's go.
All right. He got one right. Oh, this dude's balling. He eating out here. Be sure to watch us break it all down on Monday. I thought Aaron Rodgers let you do the discount double check. It's still spinning, y'all. Coming up, do we trust Mike McCarthy to take the Cowboys to a Super Bowl? We'll answer that question next. Don't speak for yourself. Look at you. You over there getting that fire. What kind of shit?
Cowboys are red hot on a 5-game win streak, but head coach Mike McCarthy, you don't appear to be getting a lot of credit, especially not from your boy. General manager and owner Jerry Jones even came to Mike McCarthy's defense this week over the criticism for his clock management. The Cowboys currently have the 8th best odds right now to win the Super Bowl, according to Fox Bet Sports Book. So, Sal,
yes,
do you trust Mike McCarthy to take the Cowboys to a Super Bowl?
Absolutely trust Mike McCarthy to take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl because when he takes them to the Super Bowl, he'll sit there and look around. You say, hey, guys, take this all in. This is the Super Bowl. This is the chance of a lifetime. Or in my case, my second chance in a lifetime, because he's been there before. And I always trust someone who's been there before. Acho, you just moved to L.A. How long has it been? A year, 2
year and a half, sir.
Year and a half, yeah. Have you ever been down Slauson, homie? No.
I don't think so.
No, you haven't, right?
Is that where, like, the meat, what do they say? Meat shop?
Right now, keep your cred. Just
what do they say?
Meat
Put me on game.
It's called swap meet.
That.
Meat shop.
I knew that.
You're making my point. If you ever have to go to Slauson swap meet or off Slauson, take me with you. You know why? Because I've been there before. You haven't. You're going to go down there at the swap meet, talk about, y'all got some meat? They're going to be like, yeah, homie, meet you outside. That's what kind of meat we got. Mike McCarthy's been there before, so why wouldn't you trust Mike McCarthy? And who is Mike McCarthy? Put some respect on this man's name. Mike McCarthy's one of only eight active coaches that have won a Super Bowl. Okay, so that means 75% of this league has not won a Super Bowl. But you trust them? Not me either. One of 5 active head coaches with 10 or more playoff wins. Let's talk about him in the playoffs when it matters most. Because I know there are a lot of slights for Mike McCarthy. Oh, his game management, his clock management. Oh, what was he doing those last years in Green Bay, massages and stuff? He wasn't paying attention. Blah, blah, blah. Number 1 in playoff win percentage is who? You already know. Bill Belichick. Respect. Second, Bruce Arians. We're talking about active coaches. John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy. And then tell me, is this coach, who's after Mike McCarthy, a good coach to you? Andy Reid. Ooh, Andy. Y'all need to put some respect on Mike McCarthy, a man who's been there before, to the promised land, actually victorious in that moment, and will return to form with this team and take them one day to the promised land.
So the biggest flaw in your argument is that you believe just because Mike McCarthy has been somewhere once, he can get there again. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is, if you have been somewhere, journey somewhere once upon a time, but you do not go back for a while, you forget the route you need to take in order to get there.
You said I ain't been back to the hood?
I'll personalize it myself.
Let's hear it.
To get to the village of Nigeria, where my parents are from, Isukwata, you fly into Lagos, the capital city, used to be the capital city. And then from there, you can take another flight, and then you can take a little 2-hour trip down back roads. Now, after going for several consecutive years, I could navigate close enough as how to get to this rural village. But I ain't been back since COVID. And so if I were to hop on a plane now and fly from Lagos to another city of Enugu and then get into a car, I don't know how to get there because it's been a while. So I'm going to have to stop and ask somebody who's gone more recently or somebody with a GPS system, but GPS don't work in the villages. And I'm going to have to get some advice. When you see the goats, make a left. When you see this person selling plantain, make it right. If you see the bush, you've gone too far. I'm going to have to get some instructions, Sal. Don't tell me that Mike McCarthy still knows how to get somewhere he ain't been in 10 years. You cannot know how to get somewhere if you ain't been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, let alone 10 or 11. Wow. I do not trust Mike McCarthy to take the Cowboys to a Super Bowl. The game has changed. The terrain has changed. Ground has been eroded in the National Football League. The running game, the ground game has been eroded in the National Football League. So just because he's been there before does not mean that he can get there again. Anything?
I got something over here, my man. You got to take me with you one time. We got to go there. But we're going to have to figure out a streamlined way. I ain't going to all them places. It got to be a better way. I put 5 on it.
You want to take a PJ, man? Go straight to the village?
Can you?
No, I don't think so.
Whoa, we ain't doing that either. All right, we ain't going to get back. All right, here we go. Math was your strongest subject or in the middle?
In the middle.
In the middle? Yeah. Okay. Well, let me help you out.
Please.
It was top for me. 510 coaches have been head coaches in the NFL in its history. 510.
510.
510, okay.
Yes, sir.
You know how many have won Super Bowls? You know how many people have landed in Lagos and then went 2 hours, would you say, to the bush and plantain? You know how many have actually made it all the way to the village? 34. Okay. Mike's one of those 34. But you want me to have more confidence in someone who's never made it there versus a guy who's been there. Or you're going to sit there and say, well, it's been so long since you've been there. Do you know the climb? Do you know the grind that it takes to even become one of the 34 out of 510? Okay. Let's remind Acho, because you forgot who you are.
Yes, sir.
And it's not just because of COVID and you not going back home to the village. It's because somehow, some way, you've been in L.A. too damn long. But not on Slauson, you scary ass. Let's talk about this. Oh, when you first grabbed the football, you were 8 years young. You told me this yesterday. I know sometime shortly thereafter, you started to have visions of grandeur. We all did, right? You get a football and you're playing with your friends and then you're like, yo, I'm kind of good at this. I'm kind of great at this. I want to make it to the NFL, right? Let's talk about the steps that it takes. Because first you think about, hey, I want to make it to the league. Then you're like, oh, I want to get drafted in the league. And then you start playing well, UT, all that. Man, I want to get drafted high. Then you say, all right, I made it. I want to make the team. No, I don't want to just make the team. I want to make the starting unit. No, I don't want to just do that. I want to make a name for myself. I want to make a Pro Bowl. I want to make an All-Pro. I want to win a championship. I want to be a Hall of Famer. Step by step by step. Let's talk about those same steps to Mike McCarthy. Out of 510 coaches all time, all of them said, I want to win a Super Bowl championship. And then you start seeing that number dwindle down. Oh, 510, I'm sorry, we got to kick 100 out. You ain't never made the playoffs. Let's kick another 100 out. You ain't never made it past the divisional round. They just keep getting kicked out, until you're finally left with only 34 with confetti on them. But somehow, some way, between Slauson and Legos, you have gotten lost, brother, and not understood that Mike McCarthy is that dude. Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. But first, it's time for some confetti for Greg. Let's give him a proper intro. Packers Hall of Famer, Greg Jennings. Greg spent 7 seasons in Green Bay and caught 2 touchdown passes in the Super Bowl win with Mike McCarthy. And will now be inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame next September.
My God.
Congrats, Greg.
Congrats, Brody. Congrats.
Man, I appreciate it. Man. It's definitely a tremendous feeling. But I'm gonna jump right to this question, Acho, because I want to chop your neck off, and I don't want to say your head because I'm gonna just go straight to the neck because everything else is just decapitated. So yes, I trust Mike McCarthy, and for the very reasons, and I'll add too, that Marcellus is talking about. He's done it before. We don't all of a sudden now look across in the NBA and say, man, do we trust LeBron to get? Yes. Why? Because he's done it. He's proven. Do we trust Tom Brady? Yeah. Why? Because he's done it. Do I trust that you can ride a bike if you've ridden a bike before, even though you haven't been on a bike in years? Ooh. Yeah. Why? Because you've done it before. Like, that's the first reason of why you would say, I entrust you of something. But this is what Mike McCarthy is all about. And this is why the Dallas Cowboys are having success and will continue to have success. Because he's telling his players, this is what he always has said, guys, you handle what we put on your plate, and I'll handle the rest. I don't need you to worry about the media. I don't need you to worry about the X's and O's. I got all of that. You get it down. You go and perform. We put you in the best position, and you go and do what you do best. The same is being said to even the guys that are on his level with the coaching staff. He's not going to micromanage any of those guys. He's never done it. He's going to give them a task and allow them to be who they are so that they can be the best version of themselves so that the players can receive the best version of what they need from their respective coaches. And so when I look at that, he's handling every situation that you want him to. Does that mean he's not going to mishandle some? No. But along the process, we've all played in this league. We've all watched film. We've all played multiple games. And when you watch every single game, you do not have every single game where you come back and say, oh, man, I was great. Shoot, A+, no mistakes, no nothing I need to improve. Yes, that same can be said with Mike McCarthy. Does he have areas where every single week he's going to be challenged and he's going to look at the film and assess his own self and say, can I improve here? Of course. But can he get the job done? Yes, because his resume tells me he can get it done. What he's doing right now tells me he can get it done. And what I've seen of the Dallas Cowboys and their personnel in the past and who has been there at the regime, at the head coach regime over the last few years, they weren't able to do anything. So now all of a sudden I'm just to expect that Mike McCarthy can't. Well, they look a whole lot different. They play with a whole lot more confidence, and now we don't give Mike McCarthy any credit, and it's all the players. Look, this man has been proven. That's why he's in that position. That's why you're sitting where you're sitting, both of you, Marcellus and Acho, because you have to prove that you can be there.
That Hall of Fame tape. That Hall of Fame talk.
Wow. Yeah. My dog feeling it right now.
I see, G.
Y'all aren't wrong.
Okay, that's a start.
Y'all are just inaccurate. Yeah, you're not necessarily wrong, just inaccurate. Here's my point, G, and here's my point, Sel. Frank Vogel, resume says he's a NBA championship head coach. But just because his resume says that, don't mean I would trust Frank Vogel to take me back to a championship. Luke Walton, let's not forget, he was 19-0 when he took over with the Golden State Warriors while Steve Kerr was trying to recover from his physical ailments. But I wouldn't say that Luke Walton is a championship caliber or 73-9 caliber coach, even though he contributed to greatness over the course of the Warriors' runs. Marcellus Wiley educated me, Greg Jennings. He does every show, he does every block, he does every minute. But specifically, most recently, he reminded me that 34 coaches have won Super Bowls.
Yes,
34 coaches. Yes, 34. What's interesting, Greg Jennings, is there are only 27 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. So while Mike McCarthy is one of 34 to win a Super Bowl, if he's coaching a Hall of Fame quarterback, is it Mike McCarthy who should get the credit, or is it his Hall of Fame quarterback? Because there are actually lesser quarterbacks in the Hall than coaches that have won Super Bowls, which tells me the actually determining factor of the success may have been your Hall of Fame future quarterback. Again, Greg Jennings, I understand your take. You just got inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame. You were quite literally being honored to give the take you're doing. They might rescind your Hall of Fame noteworthy. I get all that. Marcellus, on the other hand, that makes sense of your take, big dog.
Man, Greg, you want some of these rings before me, or how's it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Dan, I didn't think that Acho would have to go down like this. Fighting, blasting, and getting blasted. Okay. You brought up quarterbacks.
Yes, sir.
And I want to bring up quarterbacks as well, since I could beat you at your own argument using your words. Let's talk about the impact on the important. That's my issue with Deshaun Watson we talked about earlier. It's like, how's this impacting the greater good? Now, let's look at Mike McCarthy and his impact on the important. We don't have to talk about Aaron Rodgers, who played the most important position when he was in Green Bay. Let's talk about Dak Prescott and the impact on the most important position. Let's see Mike McCarthy's impact on Dak Prescott. Oh, my God. Has Dak Prescott had 5 400-plus passing yard games in 11 games under Mike McCarthy? But then he had 32 games without Mike McCarthy and had just 3 the previous 2 seasons. Let's talk about him under Jason Garrett, this Dak Prescott, and him under Mike McCarthy. Does the completion percentage go up 7? Yes, it does. Do the points per game go up 6? Yes, they do. Do the yards per game go up 34? Yes, they do. Do the touchdowns go up 6? Yes, they do. Does the passer rating go up 10? Yes, it does. You know why? Because Mike McCarthy is having an impact on the most important thing of a football team, the quarterback position. So no matter how you want to slice it, big dog, I'm sorry, Acho, if you don't want to give the man credit for him winning the Super Bowl championship, 34 of 510, well, at least give him some credit for having an impact on the important Dak Prescott.
See, the problem that I have with individuals like Acho is that they only believe that there is the expert, not that there are experts. And that's what we see with Mike McCarthy. Yes. He is an expert. He is not the expert, but he is an expert. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to give him some credit, because you mentioned Frank Vogel.
Yes, sir.
What championship had Frank Vogel won prior to winning the one that he did with LeBron James, the greatest player in the NBA?
To my knowledge, none, sir.
Oh, to my knowledge, none. How about Luke Walton?
To my knowledge, none, sir, as a coach.
To my knowledge, none. So when we talk about Mike McCarthy, he's already won a championship. You say, we can say he had arguably the most, well, let's just say he had the most talented quarterback to ever play this game, Aaron Rodgers, when he won that championship. So does he have the most talented quarterback in the National Football League this year?
No, but top 3, top 5.
No. No. Okay, now Zeke is getting some more credit. Okay, awesome. Does he have the most talented defense in all of football?
No, sir.
The reason why I'm making these points is because what we always try to retract from an individual when they are having success are the very things that make them successful. Mike McCarthy's reason for being successful is because he's able to delegate. He's been there before. He's taken the credit. He's tried to own credit. Look at Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. The divide. Who has it been? When the reality of it is, no one really cares when you're having the success that they had. And so my point, Mike McCarthy, he's in a position where he understands what he has. He understands what's at stake. He has the confidence to get them where they all want to go because he's been there. And when you've been there, you can bring that level of expertise, even though you're not the only expert in this field.
I love that take. That take's worthy of applause.
Damn.
That take's worthy of applause. And I can't even disagree with it. I'm just going to pose a question. Is Mike McCarthy delegating by choice or by force? If he's delegating by choice, I'm with you, Greg Jennings. If Mike McCarthy is sitting there and saying, you know what, obviously I'm not a defensive mind, Dan Quinn, it's all you. If Mike McCarthy is sitting there and saying, obviously I'm not an offensive mind, Kellen Moore, it's all you, then I'm with you, G. My head coach, College Football Hall of Famer, Mac Brown, he was the ultimate delegator. Right. I never saw him on a whiteboard. Ultimate delegator by choice. But, Greg Jennings, my fear is Mike McCarthy, who did not handpick this defensive coordinator, he handpicked the defensive coordinator that got fired. Mike McCarthy, who did not handpick this offensive coordinator. Jerry Jones handpicked Kellen Moore to retain him, the same Kellen Moore that he also acquired, that Kellen Moore. My thought is Mike McCarthy is delegating by force. And that is very different than painting this picture of the brilliant Mike McCarthy that you're trying to paint, Picasso.
Okay, so with the way you just laid that out, then why haven't the Dallas Cowboys been successful prior to Mike McCarthy's arrival? Why have they not won another Super Bowl? Why haven't they not been to an NFC championship since, 1996? Why has Jerry Jones not been able to really pick the talent and pick the head coaches and pick the personnel that was needed to acquire such a fantastic
slow your roll
roster.
Now, Grasshopper. Slow your roll now, because the Cowboys are only 5-1. Greg Jennings, if I'm not mistaken, you were on a team 5-1.
No.
The last time Mike McCarthy started 5-1 and better, you were there. Greg Jennings, 2015, I believe. Were you there? Not 2015, 2011.
No.
Greg Jennings, 2011, you were there. Y'all started 6-0. Not even 5-1. Y'all started 6-0. Y'all actually started 13-0. Greg Jennings, you know, historian. But what happened, Greg Jennings, in that first playoff game y'all played in 2011? What happened?
We lost.
God, doggone. He said they lost, Marcellus.
I did.
He said they lost. So Mike McCarthy, who has had success like this before, actually lost in the first playoff game. But the year before, Greg Jennings, y'all started 10-6, a measly 10-6. Y'all were a wild card team. A wild card. Y'all ain't gonna make no noise. Y'all a wild card team. Y'all should get bounced in the first round. But you didn't. What happened that year, Greg Jennings?
Oh, we won.
You won. Not only did you win, you won the Super Bowl. So as I look at it, Mike McCarthy isn't even good at handling success like this. Because the year he was this successful, y'all got bounced in your first playoff game. But the year y'all were the underdogs, y'all won the Super Bowl. Don't talk to me about a man that I've studied just as much as you played for.
I was hoping you did this.
We got another track.
I do my research, and I saw, these notes were somewhere down the line, so I knew that they would possibly come up. So when I look at Mike McCarthy's situation in Green Bay, we were 10-6. We were hungry. We hadn't won. This was a new situation for all of us. We had never won. Mike McCarthy, even though he's won, he's in a new situation. You want to know what that situation is? He's being questioned every single turn. Can he coach? Can he be the coach that even brings the Dallas Cowboys back to this historic landmark of winning the Lombardi Trophy? Can he make sure that Acho actually gives him credit for the championship that he won and being on the list, the very small list of all the coaches in the National Football League that have won a Super Bowl? So when you're questioned, when you're poked at, when you're pried at, you find your way rising above what you once were. And yes, the Dallas Cowboys, were they a successful team last year? Did they make the playoffs?
No, sir.
No, they didn't. What's their record this year?
5-1, sir.
Would you say that you believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to make the playoffs?
Of course, sir. Of course.
Of course. Now, are you going to just completely disregard all of the controlling parts that play a role? Or are you going to just say Dak Prescott got them those wins? Dak Prescott got them those losses? Or does everybody play a role?
Some people play multiple roles, sir.
Everybody plays a role. My point in what I'm saying is it doesn't matter how big the role, how small the role, but the role that you play, the impact that it has will be displayed by the performance of your team. It's up to us to see. The season's going to play itself out. But from if I'm banking and if I'm betting, oh, you better believe I'm putting money on Mike McCarthy that he can get it done.
And I'll take your money.
Man, ding, 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 ding. Enough of this. And we got to go to the scorecards. And by unanimous decision, the Hall of Famer, Greg Jennings. Ding, ding, ding. Ring girls, come over here. All right, I'm out. Coming up, Baker Mayfield is not playing tonight. Oh, but what about his future? We'll tell you if we think he's a franchise quarterback. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Woo, British. The Browns host the Broncos tonight. But no Baker Mayfield tonight. He's been ruled out with a shoulder injury. Cleveland had high expectations heading into the season, but they're sitting in third place in the AFC North. Got a cramp. The Browns picked up Baker's fifth-year option, but a long-term deal still in the question. Oh, man, Greg is back with us, but Acho, still questioning if Baker is a franchise quarterback.
I'm not questioning if he is I got to be honest, y'all. I was doing it on front.
Hold up.
Honest, man. I got to be honest.
Come down, selector.
I feel emotionally misled, emotionally toyed with, emotionally abused as a Browns fan. Because I am still committed to Baker Mayfield, not necessarily because I am so in love with Baker Mayfield's play, but more so I have PTSD of the past. We've all been there relationally. Like, you know it can get worse because your ex was worse and your ex's ex was worse. You know, we know it can get worse because Johnny Manziel was worse and Brandon Weeden was worse. But is this the best I can get? I know y'all been there relationally. At least is this the best I can get? Like, I know it can get worse, but I don't know if this is the best. That's how I feel about my current infatuation with Baker Mayfield. Like, look, it can get worse. So, Baker, I love you. I don't know if I love you, but I love you. But do I want to commit to Baker forever? Because I also think it can get better. I'm questioning if Baker Mayfield is a franchise quarterback in the National Football League. Is he the franchise quarterback for the Browns? I would say yes. But it's more so because the Browns currently have a fear-based commitment with Baker Mayfield. The Browns, at least as a Browns fan, I'm fearful that it will get worse. It's not a love-based commitment with Baker Mayfield. I'm not madly in love with 6 touchdowns in 6 weeks, but I'm definitely scared if I don't have Baker. Oh, God, who's going to be there next? That's where I'm at.
I can understand that stance, but for me, he is a franchise quarterback, and I know that may shock someone on this screen right now, but he is. And the reason why I am optimistic is because when you go into a situation, there's expectations that individuals have of you. And last year, with the Cleveland Browns being able to become a playoff team, doing that in the fashion that they did, we had this excitement revolving around the team, and Baker Mayfield being at the forefront at the helm, obviously he's going to garner a lot of that excitement, but also a lot of the expectation moving forward. But the identity of this team has not changed, which is why I know that Baker Mayfield is their guy, because from last year to this year, yes, we expect Baker Mayfield to improve, but your identity is still the same in such of you're a running football team first. You have not shifted your offense to really benefit Baker Mayfield and his skill sets to where it's just like, you know what, Baker? We're going to do what they did down in Dallas with Dak Prescott. Even though Ezekiel Elliott is back here, it's on you, though. That's not what they're doing in Cleveland. So he's doing what he's being asked to do, which is manage games. I think it's going to boil down to how he performs late in the season, and particularly they make the playoffs. What we saw when he went up against the Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, that little flash was enough for me. What he was able to do with Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, on the road, those things let me know this guy has it. He's fully capable, but are they allowing him to steer in this vehicle, or are they having him in the passenger seat and saying, hey, you can jump in every once in a while because Nick Chubb is going to be over here and others are going to be over here driving this ship? That's my issue with the Cleveland Browns. They have not completely sold into what Baker Mayfield could provide.
Man. Greg, you know I'm shocked. You know I'm sitting up here like, really? I'm questioning if Baker Mayfield is a franchise quarterback, but more importantly, the Cleveland Browns organization, they're questioning if he's a franchise quarterback. I'm going to give it to you like this. I'm bilingual, and it's not because of my languages. It's because of my NFL experiences. I am bilingual. I had great years, and I had some sorry-ass years. And you know why that helps me? Because I could translate the BS. Okay. Greg, you understand what I'm talking about as well. Acho, you know where I'm about to go. Let's talk it. When I was hurt, but I was good, you know what coaches used to say to me? Hey, Wiley, you playing this week, right? You good, right? It wasn't even a question. I was like, what do I say to that? I feel the applied pressure to go out there. But when I wasn't good, and then I was still hurt, you know what they were saying? Hey, Wiley, you know what? Hey, man, you good? Because it seemed like, you're not looking the same. It's all right, though, because we got somebody. Wait a minute. It's not a do or die anymore. We're not going to do or die with you. And that's what's happening right now with Baker Mayfield. This is what they call an insertion point. It's happening in Miami, too, with Tua. Hey, Tua, you had your best game this year. Guess what? We're thinking about trading for somebody to take your job. Because you know what? We don't care about the reality. It's time to introduce ourselves to our fantasy. The reality is Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback. The fantasy is, can we get someone as good for cheaper or someone better? And we'll pay the cost, because $200 million to Baker Mayfield is not necessarily what they're signing up for. Let me give you this last little layer right here. There are no coincidences in the league. Baker Mayfield said, hey, I wanted to play. Hey, I can't play. Hey, it's all right. It's my non-throwing shoulder. No one can tell me about my body. The next day, he was not the starter. Come on, y'all. They are talking a different language upstairs, but only the bilingual ones understand it. Staying with the Broncos and Browns. Don't miss your chance to win $25,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, where players have won over $5 million. Going to help you win some cash tonight. Scan the QR code, download the app, and play along with us. One of the questions is, who will win tonight and by how many points? So, Greg, Hall of Famer, what do you think?
I got the Browns. I think the defense steps up. I think they edge out the Broncos 27-24.
Give me the Browns.
27-23. That's huge.
That is huge if you bet. Don't mess up the numbers.
Never lie.
You know me, I'm riding with the Browns in the dog pound. Browns by 1, 20-19.
Dad's a corrupt again. I hear that dog pound talk. All right, I got the Browns as well by 6 points. I'm going to give y'all one of them high school scores. 24-18. It ain't going to be that, but it sounds like it. Fox Bet Super 6 has had back-to-back Thursday night football jackpot winners. You could be next. Download the app. Answer 6 questions about tonight's game for your shot to win. It's completely free to play. Coming up, the wait is over. It's time for the toughest list to make in sports. No, not the Hall of Fame for Green Bay. It's that Dudes. Week 6 edition is next. Don't speak for yourself. But coming up,
the wait is over. Everybody, it's time for the return of
it is over.
That.
The wait is over.
Dudes. Marcella's going to highlight the best of Week 6 from the dudes in the trenches where it get down and dirty, real grimy. We got to start in Chicago, the Windy City, where a certain bear bended his way to bring down Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, he did. Let's give some love to those who do it the best. It's the ones in the trenches. My man Robert Quinn, chop, 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 and hop, hop, hop. You can see him right here. He gonna bend this corner on this play. Oh, my man Eldon Jenkins. Oh, First thing is, you got to look inside. Crowd like, oh, we got a problem. And then he hits him with the collegiate. The hop right here. This usually doesn't work at the NFL level, but when you do it at this level, you're committed. Coming with the chop, all of a sudden you get the bend that you want. And in this moment, it is time to sell out. You know you're on the wrong foot. You're coming around the edge. Time to get on that motorcycle, boy. Damn. Oh, my hip almost came out. But not you, Robert Quinn. You still went after it. Then you hit Aaron Rodgers, get him on the ground, and you know you had to show him that discount double check. I love it, Robert Quinn. Number 3.
Oh, he was working for that one. Let's head to Detroit, where another Lions linebacker was working. Burrowed his way to the Bengals quarterback.
Oh! Austin Bryant, all leverage on this play. Oh, this is going to be all bad right here. My man Riley Reef don't know what's going on. Damn, he got them wrong breaks on that situation.
My God.
Let me tell you what's going through his mind if you Riley Reef. Dance on that and dance on that. First of all, you in a 2-point stance and you number 2? Oh, I think you fast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to back up. I'm scared. Damn, you punched me first. Long arm of the law in that moment. All of a sudden, you have no leverage. I'm going to try and recoup. You do too much. Get stepped on. All of a sudden, analog brakes meets the disc brakes. Those are old school brakes in Monte Carlos right there. Got dead bug, dog. Look at him right there. Step on the butt. Now, let's keep it going. And I told you, number 2. No, he fast. Went down there, got Joe Burrow. My man, Austin Bryant. Number 2, that dude.
Down there like one of them roaches after you hit him with a little bit of raid. Finally, we all know who's number 1 on the list. It's the Cowboys, who had a monster Week 6 performance, giving rookie Mac Jones a long day at the office.
My man Randy Gregory been out here eating. No, I'm telling y'all right now, and he hit y'all with some pop. Martial arts. I had a teammate that used to play like this, Randy Gregory, the respected Bryce Pop in himself. Let's talk about how he gets this play on Isaiah Wynn right here. First of all, godly, this headbutt right here, this is called button benching. This is usually a run formation way you do it, but he's butting him to get position on the hands. My man gets that elbow, gets the wrist, and all of a sudden, I'm making you block yourself, homie. Watch this. Come in this play right here. He gets the hands, makes him commit. He has no leverage, all hand-to-hand combat like Bryce Pop. Legendary linebacker, 17.5 sacks one year, did it like that. Now you got my man Isaiah Wynn just wishing, just hoping in front of Cheesecake Factory, throwing pennies at something. Randy Gregory out here beasting like Bryce Pop used to do it. Randy Gregory, you are that dude.
What they say, control the wrist and you can control the man. That's a little note for y'all. All right. Randy Gregory has joined the squad as that dude of the week.
Let's see it.
Be sure to check us out.
Let's see it. I got to scoop. Let's scoop.
Who makes the exclusive list. I ain't even going to look at it because I know it's behind me. You dig? Let's go.
I love it. You want me to read the teams?
Read the teams.
Coming up. You're still spinning, too. The Ben Simmons drama in Philly is not going anywhere. We'll share our advice for him. That's next on Speak for Yourself. The spin is over. The spin is over. You are silly. Joel Embiid led the Sixers to a season-opening win last night, and they did it without Ben Simmons. Simmons was out due to a suspension, and now Woj reports he left the practice facility today without taking part in a scheduled individual workout. He described having back tightness, my neck and my back, but was cleared by the medical staff. The report adds it's unlikely he'll make his season debut tomorrow night. Joe, what's your advice for Ben Simmons, man?
My advice for Ben Simmons is very simple. Speak to the media, Ben Simmons, and then never show your face in Philly again. Period. Ben Simmons, I come to your defense, and they cussing me out like I missed free throws. I got Twitter in my neck like I'm the one who shot 20% from the free throw line in the playoffs. I ain't do nothing but try to defend Ben Simmons and defend his mental state. As bad as they talking to me, I can only imagine how bad they talking to Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons, speak so others do not have to speak for you, and then I would not show my face in Philly again. Definitely don't go on the basketball court because they got some words for you. Definitely don't even try to go to practice, at least not team practices, because Embiid will probably have some looks for you. But, Ben, you got to say something so others like myself and others in Philly media don't have to try to interpret your mental state. Clearly, you are done with these Sixers. I can tell you, they done with you. So speak, Ben Simmons, then don't show your face there again.
I'm going to borrow some of that. I think he does need to speak to the media. But we need to go, like, full Aaron Rodgers style. Like, we need to give this to the court of public opinion so that he can try the other two that are involved with this. I want to expose Joel Embiid if I'm Ben Simmons. My advice, I will expose him, and I will expose Doc Rivers as well, even though I love me some Doc Rivers. Joel Embiid, I will point out your hypocrisy. I will point out that we're teammates, but at the same time, I've never come out and blasted you, but you blasted me. I will point out the hyperbole of Doc Rivers and him trying to correct themselves with plausible deniability. I didn't mean that. I did mean that. I would just expose all elements for everyone else to consume. You know why? Because it can't get any worse than this. Right now, if you don't get ahead of this story, and let me tell you, you're so far behind, it's silly. But if you don't get ahead of this narrative from this moment going forward, it's going to get out of control. And more importantly, you can't do damage control in your next situation because your reputation will precede you. Ben Simmons, stop it right now. You haven't said anything. And that's to your advantage.
Exactly. But you know what Wayne said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Don't push me.
You feel me? Like, Ben Simmons, you got to be in that point right now. Clearly, you haven't shown yourself to be a vocal killer.
Yes.
Ain't nobody said nothing.
No.
Doc Rivers has come out there and said, I don't know if I can win with you, Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid said, I do not care about that man. He also said it ain't my job to babysit anybody. And then after the playoffs, Joel Embiid went to the mic and he got up there, well, you know, I don't want to say it, but the turning point in the game was, when we didn't take that shot. So, Ben Simmons, everybody getting their shots off on you. And on Twitter, they got an automatic. It's a Simmons. Just say something. And in all honesty, I would just clarify your truth. And then keep it pushing. Like, for your own emotional sake, Ben Simmons, don't subject yourself to that. And Sixers organization, don't subject Ben Simmons to that. I was listening to Jay Williams earlier today, and Jay Williams was putting out a take of like, look, Ben Simmons, they try to embarrass you. Like, at this point, they don't care about you because if they put you on that court at home, you will get booed until tomorrow. Ben Simmons, at this point, just protect yourself, big dog, protect your emotional state. You already got $170 million guaranteed to come into the bank. Seeing you about a $15 million house out here in Cali. You living good financially. Make sure you all right mentally because it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, man, you got to give them something to think about because if not, all they're going to think about are their own thoughts and the script that they have already written in their head. So everyone's sitting here saying, until we hear you say something, what's going to oppose what I'm thinking of you? It's your turn, Ben Simmons, to go out there and expose them for those that don't know them. Coming up, Jared Goff says he will not feel a certain type of way when he faces his former team. We'll tell you if he's keeping it 100 or just 99. That's next on Speak for Yourself.
On this show, we only know how to keep it 100, but others, they be lying, y'all. They only keep it 99, so each day we're going to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Case in point, quarterback Jared Goff, he makes his return. Markel, let's put that here. He makes his return to L.A. this weekend when the Lions visit the Rams. Now, Wednesday, Goff shared some interesting feelings about playing his former team. Take a listen.
I'm going to play the game just how I would any other game. And to be honest, I'm not worried about feeling some type of way once the game starts. I really don't.
So, Sel, is Jared Goff keeping it 100 or keeping it 99?
Man, what the hell? He keeping it at 99. Football is a great game of skill, a greater game of will. The emotional content. When we put those headphones on, when we go to outer space, when we start to let our ego grow out of control, it's because we're trying to build up the internals. Man, you can't go out there and say every game is the same. Come on, Jared Goff, you're keeping it 99.
He might be keeping it 9.9. We talked about this earlier in the show, man. Jared Goff was 0-7 without Sean McVay his rookie season. Now, Sean McVay comes in, he goes to the Super Bowl. He's 0-6 now, so 0-13 if my math is serving me right, Sel. Without Sean McVay. Jared Goff, you know as well as anybody, you need this win, dude.
Hell yeah, you need this win to show them. Say, take that. Y'all let go of me. Y'all don't love me. Mind over matter. It's okay, Goff. Let it loose. We know you mean it. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.